These are the details for the tree architecture and influences and factors to growth lab that we're going to do in the field. It's 5%. Forests are often said to remember their past because their shapes are preserved as trees grow. And that's the amazing thing I find about trees is you can tell so much about it. You can tell the story of what that tree is telling us based upon how it grows. So I want you to go into the forest when we're out there today. Um, Find a good example. Find something unique. There's lots of opportunity just as you're walking through the forest to find something unique and just sit down and look at it a while and find out, well, what is this tree telling you just based on its overall shape and design and interactions it's had with other trees. So what I want you to get out of this today, start looking at the sylvics, the sylvical characteristics of the trees and how past growth interactions have influenced the shape of the tree. And then look at the past, the present, and the future. We're going to do that a lot this semester, but just to start thinking about that. This tree looks like this today. Well, where did it come from? Why is it here? And in 30 years, what is this forest and this exact community of trees going to look like? Okay, so that's what we're going to look at. So your job when we're out there is to locate 3 or 4 trees within the same vicinity. It's sometimes difficult to separate it out from the rest of the forest, but focus on a community of a small group of trees, any species, and just something that would be unique to look at. Okay, get some good photographs. You're going to need some documentation here of the trees. You're going to need to submit some photos with the assignment, and you also need to submit or just have photographs on hand to help remind you as you work on this after the field trip. Okay, choose one tree in particular from the group with probably the most unique growth characteristics or the most unique story to tell, if you'd say, and then label using 5 different points to explain what is happening. So look for 5 different things. That shouldn't be hard to do. And then these 5 points are going to explain what exactly is happening with the tree. Okay, why does it look this way? So I want that, and then I want to have a half-page summary afterwards going back to that community of trees. So in the half-page summary, I would like you to use your Sylvics manual and use as an addition Forest Stand Dynamics. It's a book on reserve in the library under my name, and it's a very good source to go through the real ins and outs of tree interactions and tree architecture, okay? But use the Sylvics manual in particular, looking at the species that are in your community, and just tell me about, just use one Sylvics characteristic, a really solid piece of evidence to explain a little bit about the past. Where did the trees come from? How did they establish in the first place? The present, what's going on today? And then the future. In 30 years, how is this forest going to look? What is the Sylvics evidence to tell you this is probably what will happen? Okay, I've left an example on D2L, so after you finish this video, keep going. The example is next, and this is going to explain to you a little better what I'm looking for, okay? But I'll warn you, just I don't want to be reading my example a million different times. It's okay to use some of the points because some of them may be common, but this is your own work. Get out there and learn some really interesting things from your own examples, okay? I provided one Sylvics characteristic. There's a ton of them that you can use, so I don't expect them to all be the same as what I've produced here. Okay, use Big Blue. Like I said, Forest Stand Dynamics. There's your information as far as reference stuff. Ensure trees are introduced in the paper using scientific names. You can use forestry codes as you'll see in the video after this one, but I don't want to see common names. I want to make sure that we're getting in the habit this semester of using our scientific names and learning them. Okay, use as many pictures as you need. In my video, the next one that'll show you the example, I only have 1 photograph. I would have benefited by having more, so feel free to add more photographs. Okay, and I'm just looking for thoroughness, accuracy of the work. I just want to see that you're connecting and understanding why the tree looks like this, and you can justify your reasoning using our resources. Okay, that's a big thing to me. On the back of the assignment page, you'll have this in the field with you as well. But these are the terms I would like you to focus on when you are describing the growth characteristics or the architecture of the tree. Okay, so this is some reading for you and getting your mind around some of this terminology. And we can catch up in class about some of this stuff as well. Okay, so if you go to the assignments folder in week 2 D2L, you will see all of this information. Okay, so you can read through this at your own time.